Yeah, blue.
Always ready. I don't know if we have the 38 minutes that are on the card, though, since we've been jabbering a lot.
Jabba.
Yeah, didn't help I was late. Yeah,
Yeah,
Bob. What's up with that?
So,
what work?
Well, thanks for joining us anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't even a work thing. Part-time Bob.
All right, let's start.
yeah, I'm Jake Schriner.
I'm late Bob Nelson.
The late Bob Nelson.
That's the wrong way to go.
His ghost is with us tonight.
Ooh.
Sorry,
Do a
buddy.
halo effect?
Yeah.
I'm Tracey White.
And I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, alive, and with you even today. And this is the Compass Conversation Podcast. Welcome. We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus. All right, so yeah, I just brought these guys the cups. Welcome back. This is our new Compass Church mug. Very limited edition. But these have not been washed. Mine have. You can bring your real beverages back to the table now. There you go. Mine's the only one that's been washed.
Adult sippy cup.
All right, so adult sippy.
Well, it is.
Oh my gosh. Well, hey, let's go around the table. Just do a little bit of a greeting. Howdy do. How you doing, Jake? Good to have you tonight.
I'm doing all right.
Having a tough time, I know. But
Well, I'm glad I'm here. I'm very glad I'm here. This is always refreshing to sit around the table with you guys. Very much so. So it's like the highlight of my week.
Hey!
We get to do this. It's awesome. So, I'm doing good. Harper's 5th birthday is on Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah, she turns
okay.
5. And I believe you have a birthday for someone coming up.
I do have a birthday for someone.
Because she shares a
It's
birthday
the
with your
same
wife.
day.
Absolutely.
You guys want to come on over? We're having a little get together. It'll be fun. A little soiree.
We're gonna go out. We're gonna go out with Colette's parents for Harper's birthday,
Awesome.
and I'm sure she'll have some gifts. My mother-in-law typically way overdoes it on the gift giving side of things. So, I'm doing all right. I got a fun little personal project I've been working on. I showed Tracy some pictures of this, but I'm building myself a suit of armor.
Yes.
A suit of armor.
I'm building a suit of armor, and I'm trimming it out with fur and like everything, and I have the leather and like.
I
all
gotta
the
think
stuff.
of a way for you to use this.
I know, yeah.
It's going to sit on the armor of God.
Yeah, that's it. Armor of God.
Ideally, if it's done
Shield,
by
sword,
the
need it all.
if it's done by the glow and go, I'll wear it to the
Yes.
glow and go. I'll dress up in the whole
That'd be
deal, and
Oh man.
yeah, so that'll be that's a lot of fun. But yeah, and then so I've been working on that a little bit here and
Knocks
there.
mine out of
Yeah, and then my folks are going to be in town this weekend, so they get it on
Yes.
Thursday,
Rock
and they'll
on.
be around for Big Sunday. And they're just going to come hang out and enjoy a little weekend out here with their granddaughter, and it's going to be fun.
That's so great.
doing all right.
We're looking forward to seeing them, of course. As always.
They love coming
And
out.
like we said,
Yep.
this we said before we started recording anyway.
mugs.
Get some mugs.
You get a mug on Sunday. That's right. Because every time they showed up, like before, we had a new shirt and I'd left them at home.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You're not gonna be back. Oh, you got to drive back to Missouri.
They grabbed them though, but I do like that they every time they come visit now they make sure that they're here on a Sunday,
Yeah,
so that
that's
we
awesome. Yeah,
they can come join us
awesome.
at Compass.
That's
Yeah,
right.
they
We love
really
you
like
folks.
what we're doing, and they enjoy it very
Good.
much.
And I've said this before. I mean, that they're some of our biggest supporters in many ways,
Mm-hmm.
and we appreciate them very much.
Yes.
So, that's to you guys if you're watching. All right. So, anyway, glad you're here, Jake. As always, my friend. Bob,
Okay.
the ghost.
Yes.
The late Bob Nelson, ladies and gentlemen.
That make me Boo Nelson.
We'll save that for Halloween.
Your armor thing really. I'm like, oh, this is a cool idea, Joy, and I'm not going to tell what it is because for our couple thing. But now it's like, oh, that sucks. Yeah, but no, I'm really excited to see that.
You win. That's what he's trying to say.
I hope I get it done on time because there's actually a lot to do. Yeah, it's a lot to do, but it's fun.
But I was late because I got a little bit late to start on the dinner, and then Joy decided to try and choke on the dinner. So,
Oh, no.
It was so good. She was wolfing it down. Oh, yeah, she was talking while she was eating. Oh, never a good idea. Yeah, she almost joked.
Wow.
Oh,
She
give
did
it a
kind of
Heimlich
joke.
or anything?
It was close.
Oh, no.
I mean, yeah.
Bless her.
Wow.
Yeah, but
She's okay?
yeah, she is fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
No, I just left her gagging.
Yeah,
right after
exactly.
that.
Never laugh
I was
about
running
this.
late.
Sorry, Joy, I gotta go.
Part of my entire retirement plan is insurance money. So.
All right, well, we have it
Just
recorded
kidding.
right here. This is where you come back to.
It's a really tiny.
This will be on one of those murder shows.
Yeah.
This is the footage they will play.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. So no.
Well, Bob, I think I'm glad that you're here. But
No, yeah, she's doing fine, and I'm fine.
Okay.
It was actually a pretty easy day at work, so yeah. So, Tracy, how are you doing?
Okay, nice pass.
He wants to stop talking to us.
Doing
quiet
fine.
coyote. That's what
Yeah.
it is. Quiet coyote time. Okay.
It was an easy day at work. Stretch 30 minutes into 8 hours. No, I did extra stuff for this project, but one of the cool things is Josh's first day of work was Saturday.
Oh, great.
And then he worked again yesterday.
Nice.
I don't think we even
yeah.
talked about that since he was interviewing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he got the job.
Not yesterday, today. He worked today. And it was all onboarding stuff. So all the training videos and all
Yeah.
the forms and all that kind of good stuff. So his actual first shift is tomorrow night. And it is a night shift. So,
Okay.
so he's going in at 10. He's very excited about this. It's his first job.
Yeah.
We're really proud of him. He
Yeah.
put a few applications out there. Kathy and I both encouraged him to follow up. He actually interviewed at 2 different places, the Amazon and the King Super Job, and got the King Super Job. And we credit that to him actually being proactive and
Yeah.
following up. So kids, if all you kids out there,
All you kids who watch
you're
the
looking for a
podcast,
job, make
crazy
sure to
kids.
follow up. Don't just believe it.
We're big on TikTok.
Oh, nobody's
All right.
hiring. No, they're hiring. They're just wanting you to show interest in
I asked him if he wanted to work in a steel yard.
I know.
That offer was there.
Yeah.
He didn't.
He's-
I would have been surprised. That would have been awesome.
You never know. At some point, he might go, you know what, I think I'm going to try something different. But it's a good start for him.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And the people there are really nice to him. And they said, hey, if this night shift thing doesn't work for you right off the bat, let us know. We'll move you into something different. They're really accommodating. So that's really cool.
Nice.
And then the exciting thing is we checked in for our cruise today.
Yeah.
And so we got our boarding time and everything is all ready to go. As long as there's no hurricanes in the Pacific. Because we're off the west
That
coast.
one's done and gone.
Yeah.
The one that be one and done.
I know. Man, the Atlantic has been, really, and the Caribbean has been pretty active this year. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so everything else is just kind of churning along. So, Johnny,
Yes, sir.
how you doing?
I'm doing okay. And I can't help it. I have to mention that you have this youthful look again.
Yeah.
Every time we do the podcast, you look totally different. Now you look kind of like a young
A young Tracey White.
young Tracy.
Yeah. It took 15
I think I
years.
was going to say Lloyd Bridges. I think is what I was going to
Should I
say.
tell the story? Does everybody need to know about what I told y'all yesterday? How long
Which
it took
part?
Kathy to...
Oh yeah, Good time. Yeah.
Kathy didn't notice.
Our girl Kat.
She even, in the morning, she even touched my face and she did not even...
They didn't even notice.
Until I was like, did you notice? She's like, notice what?
She just knows
Oh,
your face
yeah.
so well. That's what it
she
is.
said.
That's it.
So,
She's incredibly used to you being like this.
I know,
Right, yeah.
I know. So, anyway.
Well, anyway, yeah. And so here we are, the hats and the hat knots. That's us tonight. So once again, side to side. I'm doing all right. So who knows what I might say tonight? Yeah, I told you guys last week that this was the beginning of the long week stuff, and that's truly. So I was already a little weary. I'm always weary coming out of a Sunday weekend and every now and then I hear these guys out here who are pastors of churches and they're full time at their church. That's all they do, and they're just so tired on Monday morning, right? They call it the holy hangover. They say, right? and I just look at those guys.
That's
you know,
taking too much communion. Right?
yeah, too much communion. Well,
Gotta
anyway.
finish it off.
It's like, dude, get up at 5 on Monday and go in and clock in. That's what most pastors probably need to be doing. Anyhow, although I love you guys. I'm learning from you. You have time to write books and stuff. So anyhow, yeah, long day today, and massive vomit in the cafeteria. Not me.
Wow. Okay.
Not me.
good.
But that kept things hopping and slipping. And then as the day went on, and today was our first day of intramurals, and we had the kindergartners, first graders, and second graders for today, tomorrow, and then we have the older kids Wednesday and Thursday. But today was the first day of that, so long day. I was home, I think, 30 minutes or so
Before coming in.
Then we went over to Starbucks, got the worst beverage ever I have ever had.
That's what you get for going to Starbucks.
No, that's not true. There are some if you find the right thing and you like it, it's good. So
This was not that.
this was not that, and it's a bummer too, because it's usually fantastic, but I think they gave me sort of the wrong kind of thing. But there was some confusion in the ordering. I don't blame them completely. All I know is it's like, man, I wish I hadn't spent as much as I did for something I hate. So
At least it's in a nice cup.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna drink it though. Anyway, so just kind of weary today, long one, but very glad to be here with you guys tonight.
Cool.
Because next week we won't.
Right.
That's right.
Maybe the next week. Yeah, next week.
Y'all can still do it. We'll be gone, but Kathy and I'll be gone.
We'll talk.
Y'all can keep going.
We'll talk kindly about you.
Promise?
No,
You'll just have to wait and see.
just check out that podcast. Well, hey, let's talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Starting maybe with the weekend.
Since we like talking about the garden first, how
let's talk about the garden.
talking about the reception for the care bags, the little care packages.
Oh, you want me to talk about what I said?
Yeah.
Last podcast, you said you and Leona were going to have to go to them.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
you want me to share with everyone.
Exactly,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
So, right. So we gave out all of those bags of vegetables and things, and they were very well received. I mean, like crazy well received. And people they just were so happy to get it. In fact, one lady, the very last bag, I wasn't even sure, and she's somebody who's not a church person at all. And so I just started standing over there and went, I could give it to her. And I walked up and I told her, hey, I've got all these bags from our church garden of vegetables. You eat variety of vegetables. I mean, would you be interested in those? She said, yeah, that'd be great. I went, okay, let me get it for you. And I got it for her. She was, oh, thanks, that's really cool. And anyway, the next day, it was person after person after person telling me, thank you again for that. That was so great. We ate some of it last night. We put some of it in the stew. We had it in a salad, whatever. Everybody's telling me that they used it. And somebody this morning even told me as they walked up that they used it in a salsa that they made.
Nice.
So anyway, so very well received. And then that lady in particular, the next day, she went out of her way to come up to me and say the same thing. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I ate some of that last night. It was so good. It tasted wonderful.
Awesome.
What a cool thing. I said, well, I'll be sure to pass along to everybody who had their hands in the dirt at our church that made that happen. She goes, oh, that's great. Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. And so I think we mentioned that last week, that, like I said, people can't quite understand the spiritual thing, but we are the spiritual thing in fleshly form. And we're the hands and feet of Jesus, and so they can understand the garden, and they received it very, very well. So that was a very big blessing to a lot of people.
So we do that sort of thing because we love people. I mean, Jesus said, love God, love people. That's the two greatest commandments, right?
Yep.
God showed us love.
Yeah, might as well. You know what? Let's start
I know
this
it's
time.
early.
A little verse of scripture we like to quote from time to time. You're already there. Take it.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him will not perish but have eternal life.
Yes, and that is John 3:16.
3:16. Right. So, and whenever he was challenged by the Pharisees, Jesus, that is, about what's the greatest commandment, he said, love God, paraphrase, love God, love people. Love God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And likewise, love
your neighbors.
Love your neighbors.
Yeah.
Right. So we show love for people. And then the Bible also says that people will know that we are followers of Christ by our love.
By our love. Yeah.
So, and I think
would-
that sort of thing that we do, the things that we do in our community are evidence of that. So.
Yeah, and I always, you get me a little Get me going, Trace. So I almost interrupted you there. Sorry, my friend.
Sorry, did I misspeak anywhere?
No, you're perfect.
Okay.
No, I should have just shut up and just let you keep rolling.
Next.
And secondly, I want to say, oh my goodness, what I would just say about that very idea is that I don't believe you really are loving God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength if you're not loving your neighbor.
I agree.
So it's a reflection of what it's both. You can't do one without the other, really.
I even love the stupid people.
I'm glad you love me, Tracy. Oh my son.
I don't mean that.
right.
Misled.
Like you said in the message yesterday, you like that Compass Church is known for things
Right,
like this,
yes.
you know?
Yeah.
And you know a tree by its fruit. And so being able to, do things
Garden
like that.
analogy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when you sent me that email a few days ago,
Yeah,
just
that's
let me
right.
know that everybody, it was really well received and it reached a lot of people.
Yes.
That just brightened my whole day. It's like, all right, that's what we've been working for.
Yep.
That, doesn't matter, where they are in life or whatever it is, if we can help somebody out and
Yep.
they know that it came from Compass Church and our hard work and we wanted to share it with them just because. No ulterior motives, no
Yep.
nothing behind it. Didn't pick and choose who we were giving it to, just anybody that wanted it.
Yes.
I think that's-
It was great.
It's a pretty cool thing.
It is so
Sure.
cool. Yeah.
There's another part about the weekend that I really enjoyed too, and it helps people really recognize who we are, and that would be our new canopy.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the hot dog award. Golden hot dog.
Our
Okay,
new
go ahead.
signs, the new canopy. So the canopy came in, Jake, and
I'm excited to see it, yeah.
This
It looks
this worship
great, man.
sign, which is it's like 7 feet tall,
pretty
right?
tall.
Or I don't know, it's taller than Bob.
it's taller than me.
you know.
So
Oh, I'm taller than Bob.
Yeah, but
Hey, that's
it's taller
right.
than you.
Bob is no longer the standard in height.
And so when somebody sees that sign, there is no guessing as to who's there and what
Right,
we're
and
doing.
why we're there, yeah.
And I think that that sort of, I don't want to, again, I hate using the term marketing, but
you and I have had this conversation quite a bit.
but it
Yeah.
kind of it is. I mean,
Yeah,
really,
it's good marketing.
And I think
it's the marketing in the right way.
I
It's
think
it's not slimy marketing.
right. I know we're not door knocking and stuff like that, but
Inside people love it.
signing people up. But it
the
just
signs
makes
are
it more
always good.
clear when people are going by that. Okay,
agree.
yeah, that's
And it was so time. It was time for a fresh look of all that. So yeah, the new signs, the new canopy.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, people drive by. It's very clear
Yeah.
who we are. In fact, I'm thinking that even for Big Sunday, that we should put the canopy up in front of
Yes,
the
absolutely.
doors.
Okay.
Yep.
And that way,
I'll do that
it looks like the entrance to Compass Church, as
Yeah.
it should be. So
Yeah.
that's something I've been wanting to do for a long
We need
time.
a
Anyway,
big Sunday sign.
today is Big Sunday. There's so many signs.
Nobody would know what that meant.
There's so many cups. There's so many things that I want us to do. I haven't forgotten about the garden shirts and that sort of
Yeah.
thing too. So maybe those will be a little special something that comes up. Maybe a cup, what is Jesus like and how much of him? That kind of thing.
That would be cool too.
Yeah. The Compass Inside Jokes. Speaking of, the hot dog. Speaking of the hot dog, golden hot dog. We did give out a couple more of those.
Oh, nice.
Brianna, after she received hers, she goes, "You weren't kidding. That he had something." Like I was lying to her or something.
Well, it seems so silly, and that's because it is. But she seemed to really love it too. And the idea. Leon and I were talking about this on the way home. It's like, there's some people who've never received any kind of award, even a silly one.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is one of those that says, "We love you. Let's laugh together. We're glad you're a part of what we do."
Absolutely.
And that's really what that said. So she said, "Well, I'm going to display it proudly on my desk or something like that."
She works from home, but hey.
Hey, somebody will see it.
It'll work.
She'll see it.
We still have ours sitting on the kitchen table.
Nice.
Right in the center.
Nice.
I'm so glad. With a little
First
hot dog
progress.
sticker on it. It's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Well, what else? What else about the weekend?
There was a message where you got through 3 verses, I think, this time.
Yeah.
We
need
moved
talk
on to the
about
second
that.
Thessalonians.
Second Thessalonians.
Not the first one, but the second one.
We do need to talk about that a little bit. So let's do that.
I looked it up. I'm glad you touched on it yesterday. But how far apart
Yeah.
the
Yes.
were? They say it might be just a few months.
Wow. Yeah.
Which
Yeah, and I think I said so, didn't I?
yeah, you did. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Which
It's
I mean,
possible.
back then, you figure that's actually a very short. Nowadays, that seems like forever.
Yeah.
Right. Instant messages and phone calls and emails and everything.
Like, what are you, 2
But
months?
back then, you figure like that's not that far
Somebody had
apart.
to deliver the thing.
Right. Someone walked it there,
Yeah.
which took however many weeks, you know, and then the
And it was
message
Timothy
came back.
probably, most
Yeah.
likely.
And so, yeah, you figure like the time span between all of that happening. I mean, he wrote the first letter, brought it, or Timothy brought it.
Yeah,
And
they're all
then
excited.
he came back with news. And he probably started drafting that second letter right away as soon as Timothy came back.
Well, he
I mean,
got the
right?
second report. So,
Yeah.
you know, he saw Timothy again, I think is what's going on there.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, I don't know if it was too much. It might have, you know, there's a lot of speculation in that. But in every commentator, every scholar who's on that stuff, it's a short time. We know it's a pretty short time.
Right, it wasn't years apart.
Yeah, it wasn't years. It's very unlikely it was years. Just because he was addressing many of the same things. Just he expands more this time on those. So, which is why I cut out some pieces in the first series. Second series, I don't know which one.
One of the series.
Steadfast series.
Yes.
To tack on to talk about. I've got to make sure that I don't miss those. It would be very embarrassing in the long run. To me personally. Nobody else will even notice. Anyway.
And talk about work and
Everything, yeah. That's going to be fun. I can't wait to watch. That's one I'm looking forward to talking about. But yeah. So only if you were. Now, if you were on the Bible app, as I know you guys were, you saw that I did not cover quite a bit of what I had there.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That rarely happens. I mean, I'm not saying it rarely happens that I don't cover all that is there, but to not cover as much as I had there.
The amount of material.
I don't
That
know
is
what
okay.
the deal was. I looked at the time and thought, what just happened here? Would I have 20 minutes, 30 minutes? How long did I speak? I think I only spoke, actually, when I said I think I'm going to wrap it up, I had only been speaking for about 15 and a half
It was,
to 20
it was pretty
minutes.
short, yeah.
It was.
I just thought, I don't think I can do this justice looking at the people I'm looking at right now and the time without going way over 12. And I just thought, I'd rather leave you a little hungry, you know. Let me just chew on this for a minute. So I got to talk about loving my wife and stuff. That was fun too. So. I will say, speaking of Brandon, she laughed quite hard when I mentioned the white tuxedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joy's like, it was popular back then.
Oh my goodness. And that was kind of cool even today. That was something that happened. We have a new lady who is one of the mental health workers at the school. And we had the parade from the Raiders. What was that school? That's just right down the road. Rangeview, yeah. So they came, they did a parade, big band, everything, football guys, they did that for the elementary schools.
Cool.
And then this lady arrived to work during the parade. She was like, I'm not sure I can get in. Come on in. So I brought her in. And then a little bit later, while I was in the break room having late lunch, she just happened to come in there. She was having a conversation with an administrator about some things. They really loved her work there. And so she had a really nice thing that had been said to her. She sat down and I started talking. I introduced myself. And she said, and so I see that you're in this, what exactly do you do here? And I was like, I don't know. No, I didn't say that. I said pretty much like, you know how they're firemen who go around and they put out fires. That's kind of me. I'm going to put out fires every day. But then I told her, no, it's actually the student PBIS, and she knew what that was immediately. And oh, great. I had this conversation. I'm going somewhere with this guy, sorry. But anyway, so I said, anyway, the kids call me Mr. Leckie. And my wife, she teaches 4th grade, Mrs. Leckie. And she went, oh, oh, I love her. And I went, not as much as I do. She's so great. She's been so wonderful. Oh, that makes so much sense. Oh, and you've been so nice. And she's, oh, I see how you guys are. And she just went on and on about my wife, how wonderful she was. And I'm like, yeah. And we're kind of like Beauty and the Beast. So
The beautiful beast, but whatever.
anyway,
And the men
Stockholm syndrome. So very early on. Anyhow. That's not what Beauty and the Beast is. I mean, come on. It's like wanting to kidnap them. Anyway. No, we're not really that.
Romantic cage match.
But that just to say, you know, again, I love my wife, man. She does so many things that most people don't even realize just how much she does in the life of our church even. So I appreciate it. I know you're watching.
She's pretty cool.
You're pretty cool. All right. Those are my little kudos to her.
And happy early birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy early birthday.
I'm also saying this because I'm going to be without her for the you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty pitiful without her, actually.
I could picture Johnny sitting at
Just
home
very lame.
when Leona's out of town, just kind of going,
Oh.
what am I supposed to do?
Well, the truth is, I actually will do a ton of work. Is what's
Yeah.
going to happen, right? I'm going to be up later than I should every night and be doing all kinds of stuff. But anyway. Well, anyhow, sorry, a little tangent. I just thought it was funny that this lady was just going on and on about how awesome my wife was.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, anyhow, what else about the weekend?
Well, that fits really well with verse 3 of 2 Thessalonians.
Oh yeah, love increasing. That's what I was talking about.
Which is that we give thanks that we give thank. We ought
to say.
Yeah, evidently. We ought to thank God always for you, brothers and sisters, and rightly so, since your faith is flourishing, and I cannot read tonight, and the love of each one of you has for one another is increasing.
Your faith is flourishing.
3. Now you know why I was late.
1:3.
I'm now still thinking of my choking wife. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's right.
I'm choking on my words.
Sorry. Well, it's just another reminder too that, and that's what I was talking about, even with my wife, is that, and the truth is, and I tried to say how I'm very unlovable sometimes, but you know, the truth is she's unlovable many times too. Even though, and again, publicly, I'm always saying, I'm looking right at the camera because I know she's going, hey, she's hitting me in the side right now. But both of us are like that. She's not perfect. I mean, it's very easy for me to kind of gush and all that stuff, but Leon and I have had very difficult moments in our marriage, very hard things. And so when I talk about what the scripture is saying there, it is that reminder that love is not a feeling. It is a decision. It's something you do.
Yeah.
And it's something you have to choose to do
choice.
again and again and again. And so over time, it becomes a very strong thing. So just for clarity there, because I know there are a lot of guys out there, you know, who pastors, and they'll say all these great things about, oh, my wonderful wife. Well, it's wonderful most of the time. Sometimes she's not, and sometimes I am not. But we're not perfect. Let me
But
just
most of the
tell
time,
you.
as long as you're making more deposits in the love bank than withdrawals.
Yeah, the love bank.
The love bank. Who
Dr.
was
Love.
that? Who was
Tracy,
that
Dr.
wrote that
Love.
word?
It's either Eggerich with love and respect, or
No, it's like the his
Lehman.
needs, her needs thing.
No.
Yeah, well,
Oh yeah.
Sir Psychobabble.
Yeah.
Well, anyhow, let's get back on track here real quick. So,
To kind of put it to something you said earlier, you know, about loving stupid people.
Yeah.
I mean, but not in your situation.
No, it is in my
But
situation.
that's kind of where
Be the stupid one.
one of the things that Paul's kind of bringing up too is because, you know, you got a larger community of people, and some people are going to get on other people's nerves. It's just the way it goes. So, but we, you know, we do, as we love one another, that love grows and our faith grows with it.
I did say stupid people. I want to apologize to all the stupid people out there.
that's okay.
No,
They won't understand you.
Yeah, probably not. I don't, you know, and I say that kind of lightheartedly, and what I mean by that is people who make bad choices and do bad things.
Which is every one of us.
Which is at some point in time, every single one of us. So some people just kind of keep doing it on purpose. You know, and,
that's true.
And it bothers me a lot.
Well, I will say this, just to sort of slightly shift off of this a bit, but that church in Thessalonica, their love was increasing during trying,
Yeah.
difficult times. It wasn't all rosy and sunshine for the Thessalonians. And this is what Paul was starting with, and that's sort of the idea behind the message, was let's start where you are. And so he says this right now, here's the good part, here's what's happening that's really good, and that's kind of where we left it. But there's a shift, there's a slight shift with some things that needed to be addressed. But yeah, that love was actually flourishing, and it was being made possible even through the trials, even through the tribulation, through the suffering even. And I don't want to say if you really want to love, you've got to have suffering, but there is something that happens when people struggle together, right? And share those burdens. You can't share someone's burden if they don't have the burden, right? So it implies, sorry, Jake, you bumped your knee there. But it implies that the people around you have difficult things going on, and so the love is being displayed when we are helping one another, encouraging one another, and praying for each other, and all of those things too. So, a little shift there,
which is kind of part of your definition of fellowship too. So
yeah, that's true.
striving together through the struggles and whatnot.
Yeah, it's fellowship of the ring more than cookies and punch. Yeah, we were on a journey, a mission together. And when you serve together, when you work together, when you sweat together, and when you suffer together, you definitely grow closer in friendship, and you're also driven to the Lord. We need Him. So you see, we need Him all the time. When things are going great, we need Him.
Yes.
No less.
That's correct.
It's just, it becomes more pronounced and clear when the pain begins. What was it Muhammad Ali said? He used to do all of those sit-ups. He could do like thousands of sit-ups. How many sit-ups do you do? He goes, I don't know. I don't start counting till it starts hurting. Right? So that's funny. But anyway, I don't know how true that is. But I think it was a journalist that said that one time. Well, what else, guys? That's going to be shared with our many viewers. And the big ones too. Seriously.
Many.
I need to stop drinking whatever's in it.
Did they spike your coffee?
It's a terrible coffee. It's gone bad. When coffee goes bad. All right.
I kind of like how you describe the ought to. It's not to. It's a compelled to.
Yeah.
Yes.
To give thanks, and I got to thinking about that. We should be compelled to give thanks for everything that we've got, but then even more so for the folks that are around us. And in that respect, I'm like, that is really kind of cool.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's one of those words you don't expect, and that's the thing about 2 Thessalonians too. There's a couple of places in it where it could be just one word, but if you pay attention to what that word is, it really does kind of shift a deeper meaning of something, and that's one of those. That we ought to. I think it's translated slightly differently in different versions, all to kind of capture that idea. But we are compelled to, we are greatly motivated to, we feel an obligation to thank God for what He's doing in your heart.
Going into my apologist comment last week, the fact that we've got all those translations, a lot of people will go, oh, yeah, it's just translation of a translation of a translation. It's like, no, it's not.
No.
It's different groups of scholars getting together and saying, this is the way, with the scholarship that we have now, on how we can translate this, and we can put it in a context that fits for that particular verse or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's cool that we can do that. We can do those comparisons. And we have that ability to. Again, we ought to give thanks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have the Hebrew, we have the Greek, right? So we have that. And all we're ever doing with translations is, and again, we're not sitting here talking in Swahili, trying to talk about the ESV or whatever, right? We want in English to have a translation that we understand and that is as accurate as possible.
Yep.
And that can be, those both different kinds of translations can both be as accurate as possible, even though they're saying slightly different things.
Yep.
All in how you choose to translate. But we could really go off and right.
Oh, yeah.
I was just going to say, it's like if you say something in Spanish, and you translate it, you're not translating it literally, or you would be saying that is a cup blue or a cup black.
You're welcome, Donata, of nothing.
Of nothing.
Right.
It's an idiomatic type of expression. So it was English equivalency. What does the phrase mean? And then, but here's what's great is that we don't just have the one. You look at one translation and then another, and you start putting them side by side, and you're starting to get the jewel of what's being said.
Again, the whole picture that you were mentioning last week, the whole picture of Scripture.
Yes.
Picture of Scripture. I like that. They rhyme.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, what else?
Oh,
I'm just trying not to say stupid things. I'm just saying all kinds of stupid things tonight. I guess it's partly the tiredness, delirious, and then a little bit of this weird cold brew
that's wrap it up,
nitro
man.
into drinking.
Maybe that's the other problem. I woke up like an hour before my alarm and just sat there. Oh, dang it.
you did that this morning?
Yeah.
I did too.
Ay.
How weird.
No, a few people that did that. There must be something in the air.
Did you have a dream about the end of the earth?
No. I had a dream, but I don't remember what it was. It was not the dream that woke me up, though.
This is a very weird way to end this podcast,
It
friends.
is.
Well, anyway.
I didn't either, but
What was the verse about becoming part of the family of Christ?
Oh yeah, which goes back to the very second verse. So the grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ, and then
Then he continues on.
and then we ought to give thanks. We ought to thank God for you, brothers and sisters.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which
I think that's I like how he's describing them as brothers and sisters, and similarly to what's stated in John 3:16, it's very easy to join the family of Christ.
Yeah.
It truly is, and it's an amazing gift that's been given to all of us. But yeah, and then once you do that, you find the people that you can struggle with and go through hard times with and build that bond with, and through that you have more love, and just and it's not like there's some sort of difficult task to get through all of that. It's an easy thing to do. It's just making a decision in your heart, and I liked that portion of the scripture for sure.
And
good insight right there.
I just finished up reading Acts, and thinking about where Paul was and where he is when he's writing this, he was killing Christians, and now he's one of them and one of their biggest cheerleaders.
Right.
Persecuting the church and now planting churches.
So when you think about that absolute flip of things,
And suffering most of the time while he's doing it.
Yes.
It's-
And I can't remember if I got into that much. I think we left off with it on Sunday, but he goes into this idea of reminding them that it's like you're suffering like we have. You were joining us, and you're joining Christ in that suffering even. So it's like you're getting where we're you're participating, and you're one of us is the idea. Kind of strange in some ways. I mean, if someone was looking at that and trying to twist it, you could really get some weird thoughts. But at least as they're going through that, simply because they're following Jesus now, that kind of persecution is the kind that's like, all right, we're with you in this. You're one of us. Now we've got the stripes on our back and stuff. So, all right.
that'll be reflected pretty much the same in First Auroraites.
You sure it's not the second Aurora?
Second Auroraites.
we ignore the second Aurorites.
What do you call somebody from Aurora? I never thought of Aurorians. Aurora.
No, isn't that Aurorians?
That's how we roar. Okay.
Aurora used to be
Never
Fletcher.
mind.
We would have been the Fletcherites.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I think we need to wrap this up.
Yes.
It's what's
Probably a
happening.
good idea.
All right. Well, is there anything you guys want to say before we wrap things up?
No.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? We meet somewhere in the world every week, but we're usually online most of the time. We're always online if it's available, so I put it that way. And you can find us on Facebook by searching for Compass Church Colorado, and you can discover more at compassdenver.com. And we'd love to have you as our guest this Sunday. All right, guys, final words.
Love you guys. Love everyone out there.
Likewise.
This has been great because he is great.
Grace to you and peace. And that's all we have for tonight, and we are out.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh. What's... It's like pew, 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 pew.
I need to watch it.
That was kind of strange. All right, so...
You hush.
You hush now. That's enough of that.